Two STs, 220's. There's a couple of little differences we've noticed. Keep watching. Right, Gary's just come round. He's brought his round, obviously. He's been buying a few little bits. Let's see what he's bought. Right, what you got here then?
So, ashtray cup holder.
Oh, that's the one inside, yeah. His was broken. That's a complete one, isn't it, as well? How much was that?
A tenner, that's an original one.
Yep, so that can go in. Oh, yeah, because yours is missing the ST badge on the front grille, isn't it? So, again, that's nice. It bolts on. It's not just one of those stick-on ones, so that's a nice little buy.
Proper job.
You've got a set of 6 plugs, obviously. They're the laser platinum ones. What's that there?
Little washer jets.
These
spray mist rather than just shoot direct.
Right, so that covers the old windscreen. So they're going on. And he's obviously got the service parts here. You've obviously got a standard air filter. You've got to wait till you get the air box to put that on, haven't you?
Oil filter.
The oil filter. What type is it in these? Is it just a normal cartridge?
Tin one.
Oh yeah, just a normal big cartridge there. So that's one of them. You've got a fuel filter. I suppose that's the right one, is it? You had a look. And filter. You've also got the cabin filter. What's that underneath there?
That's a new set of tailor-made mats.
Right, okay.
And there's a new boot mat coming as well.
Right, so you've got that. And we've also got some oil, which he bought the oil from our normal motor factors, didn't you, first of all?
Yeah.
And one of my subscribers, how much was that oil? You said he bought the oil, like 6 litres or something. How much was that?
When I refunded it, £32.89.
£32.89 for the oil from a motor factors. That's 6 litres of it. Let's show you what we've got. One of my subscribers, as I said, put me onto this. He said it's the best way to buy your oil. It's OEM, what they put in Ford engines. So let's have a look and see what this is. So this is what I've just taken delivery of. It's on eBay. If you want to have a look for it, it's probably a better way. You get 20 litres. It's OEM Ford or Volvo. It's fully synthetic engine oil. SAE 5W30, which is what we need for that car. And apparently it's what they put in the new Ford cars or whatever. So 20 litres of this come to, I think, £45. So we went half each on it. We're going to use it. It takes 6 litres, the car, but we've got this and it's the better way to buy it. And as I say, it comes from Germany, but we actually bought it on eBay. There's a seller on eBay. So thanks very much to the subscriber who passed me on to that. It's a big saving, that is, and as I say, it's exactly what they use in Ford engines anyway. I think you turn it around there. It's called Manol, and it comes from Germany. I've had to go out and buy the radio kit. My radio in my one doesn't work, the CD stuck in, so Gary's given me one out of his one, and I'm going to put this in. We need this extra wiring apparently because I want the steering controls to still work, so that's what that is. So I don't know whether you can notice or not, but I've noticed it just coming in the drive. But my one is sitting, I think, a bit lower than Gary's. And we've had a closer look at it, so let's show you what we found. It looks like it's been lowered, my one. So if you come to sort of Gary's rear wheel, as you can see, the top of the wheel there, I can get a fist in there. And come over to mine, and there's no way am I getting a fist in there. So mine's considerably low. It's been dropped down compared to Gary's there, as you can see. So that's one difference. And coming up to the front of the wheels, looking at Gary's ones, there's these calipers there. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're silver in colour. But if you look at my ones have got the big calipers on there. So I'm not too sure what they're off of. Any of you know, but they're the big calipers sitting on my one. So this has been, so slightly modified, my one. Sitting definitely a lot lower than Gary's one there. So it's nearer to the ground, which makes my one a bit more sporty.
But less original.
Well, there you go. But it needs to be nearer to the ground because I'm nearer to the ground.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so that's that. Right, what are you doing today then on this?
The ashtray, giving it a hoover out, put the new mats in, changing them washer jets. That ain't going to be the service today, that's another thing.
Right, so he'd be doing that on his Scrap It. I won't be filming any of that. That's for his channel, his Scrap It Man video. He's got quite a few more subscribers now as a result of this. So if you do like our Mondeo videos and like us tinkering about and seeing this sort of stuff, pop over to Scrap It Man's channel. There's a link downstairs in the description there, and give him a sub, and you'll see loads more of this sort of stuff. No doubt you see my car in it as well. So that's that. Right, I want to try and get my radio in, because the one, as I say, the one in there I can't put CDs in, and the one Gary's given me, it's got what's it, a USB and a Bluetooth connection.
Yeah.
It's not the ideal one which I want in there, because I want one of the flat screen ones what Gary's got in these. Let me show you Gary's one. So coming into Gary's one, as you can see, although it's not fixed in properly yet, he's waiting for the fascia plate to go around there, but he's got a flat screen one which looks a lot better than the one with the sort of knobs on, big flashy light stuff and all that. All right, would you need some? You need a couple more bonnet struts.
Yeah, these are getting a bit weaker. Look.
Oh yeah, see, that's another thing. So we just get a couple of these bonnet struts. These ones, mine are perfect, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now what we're going to do, I don't know if you know or not, but on my video, me blue one, we had that mousse in, which we've cured now. And someone did suggest, which was in my head anyway, which was take the old solenoid. Where is it? Over here somewhere. So this is the old idle air control valve that we took off of my one. And just to check whether or not that there is just this that's causing the problem, what we're going to do, we're going to put it on Gary's car. And we're going to run that round and do the same thing and see if it starts moussing with this on. If that's the case, that cuts out all the negotiations, let's say, that you get on forums about a moussing pipe. You need that, and it's on full Wikipedia and all that, and you need a moussing pipe and stuff like that. So we're going to put this on Gary's car now. It only takes 5 minutes, and we'll see if he starts moussing. I'll put you on a bit of time lapse for that because you've seen it on my video. I'll see you in a minute. Okay then, that's my old valve, air idle control valve put on Gary's car now. So we'll take this for a spin around the block. We might as well come with us and we'll see if it mousses. I don't think it's going to do it on this journey. We'll bring it back and then we'll see when he starts up whether it starts moussing. Go on it. I'll shut the bonnet, shall I?
Might as well.
Right, let's get in here. Right, we'll just take it for a little spin round. Yeah, I don't think it will move straight away, as I say, because the valve is actually cold. It might happen. Oh, listen to that.
Ain't even got to move.
We ain't even got to move. Listen to that, folks. There you go. That is conclusive proof that the air idle control valve is the problem when you get the moussing.
£3,000,
Yep. That's it. We don't even have to go. Oh, just drive it. See if as it goes along. Wow, that's fantastic. Look at that. How annoying is that? How about that? Well, there you go. I think this is the first video that's been uploaded to YouTube or anywhere where we've actually proved that it is the air idle control valve that causes the moussing. Hold on, Cher.
She's seen it.
Yeah, her face, look, she don't know.
Is that moussing?
Come here, baby.
It's moussing.
Yeah, his car's moussing.
No.
Yeah, no, we just changed the valve over. This is the faulty valve that was on my car.
Ah.
We're just going around the block to let people hear it. Anyway, we'll see you in a minute.
You locked the door.
No,
Oh, should go down back. There's
I'll s-
parcels and all, isn't it?
I'll see you in a minute, baby. Won't be long.
Off you go then.
Bye. She even knows what moussing means. Well, there you go. Happy days. As you say, it doesn't affect performance at all, does it?
No.
Hey, oh, look at that, look. Well, there you go, folks. That categorically proves it. This is an old bloody mousse. It's got more mousse than the blinking reindeer convention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Ain't got to prove anything else. We've already proved it. Well done. There you go. Yeah, you want to price up a set of struts for that?
Yeah, not too dear.
Right, let's get that off. That only, lucky enough, it only takes a 5-minute job, Gary. Not even that. So if you haven't seen my other video, what am I doing all the work for anyway? This is your car.
Well, it's your part.
It's not my part anymore. I've made it redundant. And all you need for this, literally, if you want to cure that moussing, rather than go to a garage and let them charge you an absolute fortune, well, they charge you £90 before they even look at a car now, don't they?
Yeah.
All you need is an 8mm socket and a small, like, well, you can't do it with a spanner really, and just literally pull that plug off of there by just pressing that top little bit in and it pulls backwards. Undo your two 8mm bolts. Like that. Your valve comes off, and as I say, looking at it from the old one, you can't tell the difference. So that was my old one. Let's get that out of the way. We'll put the new one on, depending where you get them from, but don't buy a £20 one like I did in my previous video. It had a totally different setup inside the holes and that. This cost me £44. You normally pay between £45 and £70, depending where you get it from. So let's put them back in. So just do them back up again. And as I said to you before, this is called the idle air control valve. You haven't got to overdo these up, just a slight nip up. Like that. And then put the electrical connection back on. Like that. And that is it. Job done. Fantastic. So I was on eBay last night and I was having a look around, and a lot of people have mentioned about the strut tops caps are missing on these and on my ones as well. So I ordered a set yesterday. I found a pretty cheap pair at £5 each, I think it was. I think the set from Ford's about £25. And he's come round today and he said, oh, I've ordered us both a set as well. So we're now got, from having none, we've got an extra set as well now. So that's going to be coming back anyway. So that's that. And what else? You're going to pick up the airbox for this, you say, the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, Sunday out.
Yeah, okay, that's that. Right, that's enough of that. I'm going to put my radio in my car now. Just get that going for the moment. It's only a temporary radio, I think, because I'm going to get a flat screen one like what Gary's got. So I haven't got the surround for it yet, so let's have a look at that, see if we can get that going. Right, I haven't got the special tools that go through there to get these out, but I've made a couple of bits of bent metal there, as you can see, and I'm hoping that I can just insert them. You ain't got to put no pressure on, a lot of pressure. You'll feel the spring. Oh, and it great, and it great when you can get over stuff. Look at that. Superb. Just a two-handed job now, though, that's the thing. Eh? So we ain't got, again, it's a matter of making do and getting over problems. Right, okay, so that's that. So what have we got here? So, that feels a bit tight in here. Can you see anything I've got to pull out there? Got it? Is that the whole radio out, or?
That is.
Right, so that's it there. There we go. Look, it's a double, is this doubled in, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Right,
so, that's the radio out. And the reason I had to take this out is because I went to put a CD in it the other day, and the CD, I think there's one stuck in there, but when you press load or eject, it says no CD. So anyway, that's got that one out. Right, so this obviously operates off of extra steering controls, which you can't see are just out of shot, for the volume and stuff, and to search for stations. So I've had to buy a kit which is here, and it operates so you can have a radio and still operate the steering column switches. So I've had to buy this. I'm not too sure how this goes yet, but it also comes with an extra box. Where's that box gone? Which is this little T1 audio box, whatever that is. So put that up there for a minute. And this cradle obviously needs to go in. So right, so there's the original aerial and the original doubled in socket. So let's just drop that in like that. Right, okay, so that's that in there. Like that. Push a couple of them little tabs in there. That's it. Right, so that should stop that from moving about. But this clips into there. Yep. Which looks about right, doesn't it? That way around.
And pull that plastic.
Yep, both together at the same time. As you say, the clip's slightly broken on that. So what we've got here is an extra wiring loom.
That'll go in that black box.
That goes up to here.
That box goes in between them.
This one goes into there. Like that. This one goes into the radio now, which is the remote terminal. And then we've got two plugs left. That one will go to one of these. I don't know if one of these coloured, they should be colour coded, shouldn't they? That's that one. And then this one is obviously speakers. It's powered up already, look. Again, everything's colour coded. So that goes into that. I mean, technically speaking, that should be it, shouldn't it? Put a CD in there, there's one in there. Everything's working off the steering column now, as it should do. And them extra 3 cables, that's if you've got a non-standard radio that's not in their list. As you can see there, it says there, non-branded radio, you use the key 1, key 2 and ground cables. But for the Sony, all you use is the jack, so that's what we've actually done. Happy day. So it's really simple installation. All we've got to do now then is just to marry up this little adapter on the aerial cable. That plugs into the back of the set. Where is it? Over that side? They're very short. There you go. Is that it? That's it. That's in. And we gently feed that in. Ah, there we go. That's gone back further now. Look. Yeah, it's just them little blocks underneath. So once I get that fascia on there, it should be okay. Right, okay. It's all working. I've actually put a microphone in as well so I can talk on my phone. Gary set it up for me. It's all Bluetoothed up, and I've actually got my Amazon account so I can download and stream music straight from my phone on through the stereo. How about that? Anyway, that's enough of that. He's filming a video at the moment. I'll just quickly show you that. There we go. Look, he's all tripoded up here. Look. What are you doing? Oh, you're giving it a clean out? Happy days. Yeah, so he's ordered a new mat for that. As you can see, it's got a hole in, so he wanted it all perfect, which he's going to get it. And there's his little tripod. What he's doing, he's filming on. Look, on his Huawei P30 Pro. Happy days. So, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little tinkering about video, and it's good to prove that we found out the cause of the moosing, definitely. Anyway, don't forget, if you do like my videos, hit the subscribe button, ring the little notification bell, and set your preferences to all. That way you'll get notified every time I upload a video. Check out Scrap It Man's videos as well. I'll leave a link to the description below, and we'll see that in his videos, what he's doing over there. I don't know. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.